Everyone talks about making more money. But what if I told you that real wealth doesn't start with income? It starts with what you keep, track, and control. This is the money conversation most people skip, and ironically, it's the one that separates paycheck to paycheck living from actual wealth. So buckle up, because in today's video, we're diving into how to know your cash flow and actually use it. And I promise you'll never look at your finances the same way again. Meet Carla. On paper, she was doing well. Six-figure job, luxury apartment, designer wardrobe. But at the end of each month, she was broke, no savings, no investments, just lifestyle inflation disguised as success. One day, she sat down, opened her bank statements, and realized her money was leaking like a broken faucet. Subscriptions she forgot about. Late-night Amazon binges, takeout 5 times a week. Carla didn't need more money. She needed control. She got a financial planner, built a cash flow system, and 6 months later, she was saving 30% of her income and investing consistently. Carla didn't just fix her finances, she changed her future. Carla's story isn't rare. It's a quiet epidemic. Most people don't have an income problem. They have a visibility problem. That's why today I'll show you how to take control. But first, hit that subscribe button and let's break free from the cycle. Forget cash is king. Cash flow is the real monarch in the kingdom of wealth. See, having a lump sum in your account looks great until it starts disappearing faster than you can say Uber Eats. What you need is a steady, predictable flow of money in and out, one you can track and actually use with intention. Cash flow isn't just about business spreadsheets or boring accounting terms. It's the pulse of your financial life. When your cash flow is strong, you sleep better, you plan better, and you build wealth faster. The problem? Most people treat money like a wild animal. They hope it behaves, but they never trained it. They don't tell it where to go. So it goes everywhere. Here's a quote that hits home from Will Rogers. Too many people spend money they haven't earned, to buy things they don't want, to impress people they don't like. Learning how to know your cash flow and actually use it turns that chaos into clarity. You gain control. You stop leaking money on mindless purchases. You make smarter decisions because you know where your money lives and where it's going. And the magic of it all? You don't need to be rich to have good cash flow. You just need a system. Here's the thing most people overlook. Cash flow isn't about having more. It's about using what you already have better. It's about optimization, not deprivation. The best financial plans don't require you to earn double. They require you to manage with clarity. Another overlooked point. Cash flow tells the truth. Your income can lie, but your cash flow reveals your habits, your mindset, and your long-term trajectory. People often ask, how do I become wealthy if I don't make a lot? The answer? Start with tracking and directing every dollar you have right now. That's the beginning of leverage. So let's kick things off with the first step. Understanding the basics of cash flow. So what exactly is cash flow? It's the money flowing into your life and the money flowing out. Think of it like a river. When more money is coming in than going out, your river rises. That's when you build wealth, but if the outflow wins, your river runs dry and your financial stress starts rising. Now let's break it down. Inflows are everything that brings money into your life. That could be your paycheck, side income, rental, checks, or maybe a bonus from work. Outflows are everything that takes money out of your hands, like rent, utility bills, debt payments, subscriptions, and yes, those sneaky late-night impulse buys. But understanding cash flow isn't just about listing what you earn and what you spend. It's about seeing the full picture of how money behaves in your life. And here's where it gets critical. Most people only check their bank balance to judge their financial health. Big mistake, your bank account is like checking the weather after the storm has already passed. It's reactive, not proactive. How to fix this? You need tools that bring awareness and control, whether that's Mint YNAB, a Google Sheet, or even a physical journal. The tool doesn't matter as much as the habit. You need to track and name every dollar, because when every dollar has a job, you stop wasting money on things that don't align with your goals. Here's what starts to happen when you do this. You catch that streaming subscription you forgot to cancel. You realize how often you're ordering delivery. You identify the monthly gym fee you're not even using. These blind spots eat your income silently, and you don't notice until it's too late. Knowing your cash flow doesn't make you cheap. It makes you wise, and the moment you gain full clarity is the moment you gain power, because now you're ready to take what you've discovered and build a system to put that money to work intentionally. Moving forward, let's talk about a system that transforms your numbers into real control. Let's dive into the profit-first method and how it flips your financial flow upside down, in the best way. Ever felt like your money disappears the moment it hits your account? That frustrating vanishing act isn't your imagination. It's what happens when there's no system telling your money where to go. Instead, your paycheck arrives, your bills demand their share, your wants sneak in, and suddenly there's nothing left. Enter the profit-first method. This strategy flips the traditional money model on its head. Instead of spending and hoping there's something left over at the end, you flip the script and pay yourself first. Here's the standard way people handle money. Earn money, pay bills, and hope for leftovers. Now, here's the profit-first twist. Earn money, take your profit first, and then handle your expenses with what's left. Sounds bold, right? That's the beauty. You decide what profit looks like up front. Maybe it's 10%. Maybe it's 5%. It doesn't matter. What matters is you're giving your future self priority instead of scraps. Imagine this. Each time money comes in, you send it straight into different buckets. One bucket is for profit, that's your financial trophy. Another for your personal pay that keeps your lights on. Another for taxes so Uncle Sam doesn't surprise you. And finally, what's left is your expense fund. You operate your lifestyle from that last bucket only. Now let's be real. It might sound rigid at first, but people who stick with this approach often report something magical. They stop overspending, they stop stressing, they gain clarity. And here's the funny part. You'd be amazed at how suddenly your expenses shrink when they're not allowed to roam freely anymore. It's like giving your money a curfew and suddenly everyone behaves. Here is an uncommon insight. Most people think budgeting is about restriction, but Profit First turns it into a permission slip. It says, hey, go ahead and spend. Just do it with intention. And as for those wondering if this applies only to business owners, think again. The system works beautifully for personal finances, freelancers, side hustlers, anyone with income flow. To learn how to know your cash flow and actually use it, this approach is a game changer. It shifts you from reactive to proactive, and from paycheck to profit on purpose. Coming up, we'll explore how to track your cash flow like a pro with tools and habits that take the guesswork out of money management. Let's switch gears and make this simple enough to stick. Let's talk tools, because knowing your cash flow isn't enough. You need to use that knowledge, and the best way to do that, let tech do the heavy lifting. First, let's keep our theme going, how to know your cash flow and actually use it. You don't need to be a math wizard to win with money, you just need the right tools. Start with apps that simplify budgeting and automate tracking tools. Like You Need a Budget or YNAB are champions of zero-based budgeting. They help you assign every dollar a job right when it arrives. Mint is another favorite, syncing across bank accounts, tracking bills, and even reminding you of due dates. Monarch Money has also gained traction thanks to its clean design and detailed insights. But here's a twist for control lovers. Spreadsheets still work. A well-designed Google Sheet lets you build your own dashboard and adjust categories on the fly. You stay hands-on, which means you're more likely to spot trends before they become problems. Each tool acts like a GPS for your wallet. You see where you are and where you're headed. No more feeling blind when rent's due or panicking when your card gets declined, because what gets measured gets managed. And that's not just about numbers. These tools change your behavior. Seeing your spending in real time creates instant awareness. You don't need a financial advisor breathing down your neck. Your app already warned you about that third DoorDash order this week. Let's make this real. Think of cash flow tools like fitness trackers for your finances. Every swipe is a calorie. Every category is your nutritional macro. When you track, you adjust. And when you adjust consistently, you start winning. Here's the kicker. These aren't just tools. They're tiny accountability partners on your phone and laptop, nudging you away from that impulse buy and toward your bigger goals. Want to build wealth sustainably? Want to stop feeling behind on bills or like you're always guessing what's safe to spend? Then it's time to embrace these tools like your future depends on it. Coming up, we'll tackle the landmines, common mistakes that silently wreck your cash flow and how to avoid them like a seasoned pro. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far and want more topics like this, comment the word MORE so I know. All right, now that you're armed with tools and strategies, let's talk about the traps, because even the best plan can fall apart if you step on the same old landmines. One of the sneakiest wealth killers is lifestyle creep. You start earning more, so you upgrade your life a little here, a little there. Soon your budget is bloated and you're still wondering where your money went. Then there are the unexpected but totally predictable expenses. Birthdays, car maintenance, holiday travel, subscription renewals. You didn't forget them, you just didn't prepare for them, and when they hit, they blow a hole in your budget every time. Another trap is failing to pay yourself first. Waiting until the end of the month to see what's left for savings is like expecting to find leftovers at a party you arrived late to. There's usually nothing left but regret. Some people confuse credit with cash flow. Just because your card swipes doesn't mean you've got money. That credit limit isn't income, and treating it like it is can lead to long-term regret. Here's one more. Many folks track their spending obsessively. They know where every penny goes, but they never take action. They don't tweak the budget, cut expenses, or redirect funds to build wealth. Tracking without action is like watching a treadmill and wondering why you're not getting fit. Back in 1920s, Detroit Henry Ford became obsessed with financial efficiency. He once ordered his team to analyze how many washers and bolts were used on the Model T assembly line. When asked why he cared so much about such minor details, he replied, "What I can measure, I can reduce." That obsession with clarity helped Ford become one of the most influential business leaders in history. Remember, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Knowing your cash flow is the first step. Avoiding these traps ensures you can actually use it to your advantage. Moving forward, let's zoom out and look at how all of this fits into your long-term wealth strategy. Because here's the truth. Income doesn't build wealth. Cash flow management does. You can earn a high income and still be broke, or you can earn modestly, manage it wisely, and become financially free. Wealth is a behavior, not a number. Think about it this way. Cash flow is like a GPS. It tells you where you are, where you want to go, and how long it will take, but only if you follow it with consistency. Tracking your cash flow isn't just about dollars and cents, it's about clarity, focus, and intention. When you automate your savings, you remove the guesswork. When you automate your investments, you build momentum. And when you use your spending plan as a guide, not a prison, you create freedom, not restriction. Avoiding the traps we discussed earlier turns leaks into leverage. You're no longer wondering where your money went. You're telling it exactly where to go. Here's something most people overlook. You don't need to out-earn everyone to win financially. You just need to out-discipline them, because the person who consistently saves, invests, and tracks their flow will beat the high-income earner who flies blind. You also don't need to be an investing genius. You need to stay in the market with consistent contributions. Not timing is your biggest ally. Here's a quote that drives this home: "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." Warren Buffett. This mindset shift is everything. Your cash flow becomes a tool to create time freedom, location freedom, and peace of mind. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. So now you've got the tools, the mindset, and the roadmap. The only thing left is the action. Let's land this plane. Let's take a breath and bring it all together. You just unlocked how to know your cash flow and actually use it. A step-by-step system to not just understand your money, but to control it. From understanding cash flow basics, to implementing the profit-first system, to tracking with tech and avoiding the traps, you now have a new GPS for your money. The takeaway? Financial freedom isn't about how much you make. It's about what you do with what you have. And that makes this journey completely within your control. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Now here's your next move. First, pick one tip from this video and apply it today. And finally, track your cash flow for the next 30 days. If you found this video helpful, I highly recommend watching my next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to leave your comment below. I appreciate your support, and see you in the next one. Money Magician.